Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant called On the Line. Mel Gibson stars as a radio host who's confronted on air by a crazed man who's going to destroy his life and do all sorts of crazy psychopathic things. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's what? It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 9. Available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited. It's free. Well, it's Mel Gibson. He usually picks good movies. I don't know about this movie, though. I don't know. The premise is he's a radio host, a talk host, and guy calls him up while he's breaking into his house. He's going to attack his family. He's got bombs wired to the building where the radio station is. You know, it's one of these movies where the psychopath is incredibly capable, yet somehow puts all that capability in trying to ruin one guy's life. Wants him to kill himself, wants to kill his family. I don't know. It's like one of these thrillers where it's like things are revealed. I don't know. You know? Okay, maybe. I mean, part of the problem is, I don't know if Mel Gibson's the right guy. Ugh, that's bloody. I don't know if Mel Gibson's the right guy for this role because he doesn't usually play scumbags, right? He doesn't come off as a scumbag radio host like what's his face? Eric Bourgeois? I can't say his name. The guy who was he's in the new oh God, what the hell's the show? He's in the new Interview with a Vampire show as the reporter, and he kind of plays guys that tend to be sketchy. They have a sketch. Mel's always played like kind of noble characters, so yeah, once in a while he plays like a dark character, but he's not really coming off as a total scumbag in this. But he is the hero of it. Like, I don't know. I think in this role you'd want like a Howard Stern type, right? Like Howard, not to go into the whole Howard thing, but Howard has pissed off people. So you could see something like this happening to Howard to some extent, maybe. Or a guy like him, I'll say. Not him specifically, but a guy like him, like he's embarrassed people, humiliated them, that kind of thing. But again, even that doesn't justify this sort of psychopath, and again, it's just it's kind of an unrealistic premise in my view. But if you're gonna do it, more of a Howard Stern type. I'm trying to think of a guy who's sort of plays a scumbag every once in a while, has a bit of a scumbag look to him, like Joey Pantoliano, guys like him, guys who have played like basically anybody who's done a guest appearance on The Sopranos, right? But the thing is, Mel usually picks really good projects. He is a good actor. He's a great director. So I don't know if he directed this one. Doesn't really say. My vibe is no. This is kind of a not a big budget thing because most of it's inside, right? The whole movie centers around him being trapped mostly at the radio station with the people who happen to be on the show that night and doing stuff via phone calls. So it's kind of a thriller, but at the same time it's kind of like trapped in an elevator type movie. So it's low budget, but a low high budget, or a high low budget, I'll say. So, because Mel is still a big name. I mean, I'll go see a Mel movie. Yeah, sure. I mean, he's got a great track record. Yeah, there was a tiny window of time he was doing like, I don't know, rom-coms or something. They're stupid. But for the most part, I think he's got a pretty stellar track record. Pretty stellar. So first act, he's doing his radio guy thing. He's the king of radio, and maybe he pushes people around a little too much, but it's all in good fun, I guess. But there'll probably be some foreshadowing. Oh, that guy sounded a little crazy. We get crazies all the time. That kind of thing. End of the first act, the guy calls. He realizes he's in his house, going to do horrible things to his family. Here's his wife. Oh my God, we gotta save her. Goes downstairs, finds the bomb, realizes that if he leaves, kablamo, and he's got some sick game that he's going to play with him. He's got to do things. He's already killed Lagarde. He's, I don't know, controlling the cops or manipulating the cops. Again, it's all very unrealistic to me. Unless that character is someone already in a position of power, which begs the question, if you're already in a position of power, why are you so broken that you need to do this? So it's part of the problem with this. Like if he had somehow embarrassed I don't know, an FBI agent, you could understand why an FBI agent might be able to manipulate the police and get them to come down and maybe shoot you or whatever. But typically these guys, psychopaths like this, they don't have that kind of background. They get vetted in a job like that, and the vetting at the FBI isn't exactly great these days. They could certainly vet out a guy that bad. So I just, like, the whole premise of the movie just kind of, just kind of doesn't work. But if you set it aside, maybe. And then the third act, he saves his wife and his kids. I don't know if he does the Mel Gibson, like, shoot everybody thing. Kind of not, because he's a radio guy, but maybe he tricks him. It could be very clever. It could be. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, this has happened to radio guys with tragic consequences. Usually it's not the radio guys that win. It's the radio guy coming home and getting killed in his driveway or some horrible thing like that, unfortunately. So it's not totally out of the realm that a high-level personality would be targeted by a crazy person. What I'm saying is it's not very likely the crazy person would have the wherewithal to actually create such an elaborate trap. So I find that part of it kind of unrealistic. But if you could suspend your belief for that, would I see this movie? That all being said, I'd still see the movie because Mel's in it. And he tends to pick good roles. Even though I don't think this is quite a good role for him, I'm willing to give it a chance. Only because it's Mel Gibson. And he hits more than he misses. Succeeds more than he fails. So it's called On the Line. Let's see. Do we have a date on this thing? I don't think we do. Nah. I don't know when it comes out. Feels like a winter movie. Feels like something they dump in January and February, but I think it could do pretty good. You know, I definitely would catch it in streaming. I might see it in the theaters if I'm dying to see a movie. I think it'll be pretty watchable, just because Mel's there. Mel's charisma can carry most of a movie like this. You know, it's going to be twists and turns. It's going to be like, oh no, the bomb. Oh no, I got to save my wife. Oh no. And then he's going to do something clever at the end and trick the guy and, I don't know, somehow kill him. I'm willing to give it a chance. Maybe he wrote the screenplay. Maybe he directed it. I don't think so. Doesn't feel like a movie he'd direct, and I think they would tell us if he did, directed by Mel Gibson. But yeah, I think it could be very watchable. At the very least, it'll be watchable. So I think when you're going into a movie like that, you know it's not going to be awful. Everything else is gravy. You don't want I don't think you want your expectations super sky high, but it could be. You got a clever script. It could work. It's essentially the plot to Airheads. And that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for more bass takes. I will be at the Woodbury Public Library tomorrow at 11 a.m. for the Halloween party. Join us if you can, and we'll see you in the next one.